is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2010 8-scale Buggy A final. These drivers have worked for 2 years to get to this moment, and Charlie, it is game on.
World Championships are about to begin. The mechanics are in the pit lane, the drivers are on the stands, and the fans are in the crowd.
It is time for our Neo Buggy drivers introductions for the 2010 World Championships. We will start with our 12th qualifier from the United States, driving for Team Losi, Adam Drake. Your 11th qualifier from Spain, driving for Team Associated, Robert Battier. 10th qualifier from Germany, driving for LRP, Jorn Neumann. 9th on the grid from the land down under Australia, driving for Mugen, Kyle McBride. 8th qualifier from France, driving for Mugen, Renault Savoya. 7th on the grid from the United States, driving for Hobau, Jeremy Kortz. 6th on the starting grid from the United States, driving for Team Associated, Ryan Cavalieri. 5th on the starting grid from the United States, driving for Serpent, Billy Easton. 4th on the grid from the United States, driving for Team Associated, Ryan Mayfield. 3rd on the starting grid from the United States, driving for Kyosho, Jared Tebow. 2nd on the grid from the United States, driving for Kyosho, Cody King. And your top qualifier, starting in 1 position from Japan, driving for Hot Bodies, Atsushi Hara.
Boys and girls, pull up a chair because you're about to witness the 2010 IFMAR 1/8 scale World Championship final event.
You saw the stands are packed with spectators. Everybody very excited for this championship final. The mechanics are there, topping off the fuel tanks, making the last-minute tuning adjustments as the mechanics bring their cars for their drivers to the starting grid.
And we are just moments away. What you'll see is the cars will go what they call down and quiet. And when the flag gets pulled, the mayhem starts.
It is, and let's hope we have a good start. We saw in that second final, or the second semi, it was not a good start. So we're ready to go. These guys trying to top off the tank as these guys going to get as much fuel in there as they can without flaming them out. These guys are keeping the engines going. You see there on the pole, it's Hara Masayuki with down and quiet, and we are ready to go.
Off and rolling.
It is A-Main World Championship time here in Pattaya City, Thailand. 60 minutes in the future of these guys, and only one of these drivers is going to be crowned your next 8-scale IFMAR World Champion.
Lead them through the first couple corners, your reigning world champion, and starting from the pole, Atsushi Hara.
Second is Cody King. Oh, Hara going a bit wide there, and Cody King quickly makes the pass, takes advantage. Hara sends it in there. He's not holding anything back here on lap 1.
And Mayfield making his presence felt right away, moving to the 2 spot just behind King.
So Cody King looking good here at the start, taking advantage of that little miscue, if you can call that a miscue. Didn't send it the fence, just a bit wide, giving him an opening. And lap number 1 in the books here for the World Championship. It is Cody King and Ryan Mayfield leading the field all the way down the straightaway.
So at the last World Championships, the guy who led the first lap did not win the race. We'll see if that unfolds here for us this week.
Exactly, kind of that you don't want to win the warm-up or, you know,
yeah,
that,
exactly.
that curse. But these guys are focused, ready to go, and I think that's the last thing for Cody King's mind. The only thing he's worried about is keeping him off the fence and keeping Mayfield and the rest of the field in his rearview mirror.
60 minutes, a very long race. The track will be changing throughout the run. They've never been on the track for this amount of time, kind of consecutively, so it'll be real interesting to see if these guys have to start picking new lines, and Mayfield getting it all kinds of wrong there, now making the pass. Almost.
Now, yeah, trying to go over the top as Cody King got it sideways going into that triple-double. And a bit of a lead here on the second lap here as Cody King driving the Orion-powered Kyosho leads the field here on the way down into the big Talladega corner and slides it around, and then the rest of the field behind him as these guys are charging hard.
It's like a pack of angry wild dogs coming behind him there.
Exactly. Oh, there's that double again, catching a couple drivers in Mayfield, and Cody King get it big time wrong.
Looks to be in the 2 spot right now. Is that Kortz?
Trying to see if, hard to see from our angle, or it could be, don't know if it's, who it is. Hard to see from here, but we know Cody
Easton
King
there in the 4th spot.
Exactly. Cody King sending it in the triple doubles. No problem. Smooth and steady. Step up and step off. Coming across the start-finish line for another lap. It's Cody King leading this one here in the World Championship final.
Led all of the opening laps so far. Mr. King up on the bicycle there, getting all kinds of wrong. Starting to feel the pressure now. As that looks to, I believe that is Mr. Kortz.
It is Kortz right there, closing in a bit in that all custom white painted body.
I think there's some blue stickers.
Oh yeah, exactly. Got a couple decals on it. And it is Cody King here into the double single. Slides it right there around the tire, then it's Quartz. Good battle here.
3-spot, it looks like. See the blue nose with the white wing.
We got Kyosho, Hobao, and Kyosho right now running 1, 2, 3. Oh, sideways in the air as Quartz rolls it over.
Tebow to the 2-spot. And they're starting to make up a little bit of ground on King right now. You see, he doesn't have that huge lead that he had a couple laps ago. So we pick up McBride now, making his way up the hill into the concrete cross. See him coming back down now into the off-camber section. Going single over the double section. Making that right-hander up over the ski jump now. Coming down the hill. And going double single. Oh, all kinds of wrong right there. It's the face of that single getting all kinds of beat up.
What a great story is Kyle McBride, Charlie. You know, the young kid from Australia.
15.
Yeah, nobody, has heard of him worldwide, and he's just a name there in Australia.
His Australian mates had him under wraps.
Exactly, and it's great to see that
he's 14 years old, actually.
14 years old, that's correct. So it's great to see him as we pick up this fight. You see the fans flag him out. I think that was the King Saxton back there waving a flag here. Is Jared and Cody King.
Tebow now taking over the lead as we moved away.
Exactly, Jared, like you said earlier here in the broadcast, one of the favorites. Got Cody King right behind him. Then I think we see a little paint job there. Billy Easton. Billy looking sharp here.
Yes, indeed. And Mayfield.
Yeah, so a great four-way battle here. We got Kyosho, then Associated, and Serpent running in the top four as they come in, send it into the triple-double.
And here they come, stepping up. Now, stepping off into the carousel section and a cross-star finish. First, second, and third spot. That's your podium right now, folks.
Exactly. We are in the very early stages here of this World Championship final. And you see they continue to cheer him on.
Three completely different lines through the Talladega turn. One high, one low, and one right in the middle.
It's Jared, Cody, and Ryan, the top three. Double. Everybody sending it in. Jared getting a good run, Cody rather, getting a good run on Jared. All over him coming into this double single. The dust lands when they just slap the chassis on the deck. And it is Ryan Mayfield now dogging Cody King for that second position.
You see Mayfield kind of slamming on the brakes there coming through that pitcher's mound section, not to run over Cody. Cody had a big charge on Gerald, kind of had to check up, and I think threw him off of his rhythm just a little bit. Starting to get separated just a little bit now. You see a couple car lengths between each of them. Mayfield way to the high side coming up the hill there.
Using the wall for a bit of traction. It's King, Tebow, and Mayfield, the top three.
New leader in Cody King right now.
So a great fight here. King, Tebow, and Mayfield there. Big air there. Going over the doubles. These guys are laying it all on the line. Nobody taking it conservative yet in the top three as they continue to stay fully punched in this fight here for the World Championship title.
And you can see these drivers are all very comfortable racing with each other. This group of guys races their 8 scales kind of in a traveling circus, so to speak. They all go to, and our leader with a big bobble there, giving the lead back to Tebow now, and Mayfield to the 2 spot.
That started kind of earlier as he set up for that triple-double, Charlie, there. Didn't get the preferred line. Had to take a double, almost single-double there, and clip the fence and drops him back to 3 position. Mayfield now to P2.
So Tebow leads the way, Mayfield running second, and Cody King running in that 3rd spot right now. Over the doubles they go, all nose to tail. And like I was saying, these guys are all very comfortable running with each other. They race each other on a monthly, sometimes even a weekly basis. So they know each other's pace. They know when they're going to give the line up, and if they put a nose in that they should be able to race clean. But they also know these guys aren't prone to making mistakes and giving you any room to put a nose in.
That's a fact. Charlie, you can see the shadows here as the sun is very low in the sky, half the track under sun, this half here under the shadows of the spectators in the containers.
Tebow has hits.
Exactly. Tebow in for the first guy in. JP right there. Pavitas with the starter box, ready to go just in case. Teamwork, you got to think of the whole picture, Charlie, on this one. Everything is important and well thought out, and there's a perfect example. Mark Pavitas there, former world champion, ready just in case something goes wrong.
Mayfield had the lead for just a blink right there. But King getting it back now as Mayfield got it wrong in that double.
Cody King. Oh, wow. That was kind of cool, though.
Stylish.
Actually, a little 360. Yeah, a little showtime there.
I'll call that the bar stool.
The bar stool.
Yeah, like you spin and put down.
Nice.
And slow.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Cody King and Mayfield here, nose to tail, coming up to the big triple-double. Sideways as they hit that second jump there to stick the
I
landing.
think King's got something going in that triple-double there where he jumps to the mound as his downside.
And now Cody King's in. Full throttle punch for Teen right there.
No glove.
No, yeah, just down and away. A great stop there for King.
So that will make, looks like Jared Tebow our new leader.
No, Jared already been in for service.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mayfield will be your leader until he comes in.
So Jared, bringing in double. Ooh, that fence right there.
That is not the line.
No, it's already, that double has been almost the demise of his semifinal.
Yes, it was.
As he sent it in there in the first lap, second lap rather, in a semi, and it dropped him way back into mid-pack. But he was able to work his way patiently through the field and make it safely out of the semis here into the finals.
Making his way to Thailand from Missouri, the TQ in qualifications here at the 2010 IFMAR World Championships. Jared Tebow looking to inherit the lead through the next round of pit stops right now as he makes his way up the hill through Ungentle Bend, now at the low side of the Talladega turn, around that off-camber 180, coming back up the hill through the concrete cross oh so slowly. Looks like a parking lot there. Around the left-hander, going to do the double. Nice and easy that time. Here comes the Twin Peaks. Coming up just short.
Just a bit short on that one. That brings Mayfield right back into the picture. Mayfield, the last couple laps, have been going very wide there. And you wonder if these guys are trying different lines, but Mayfield now all over Jared. Nose to tail, couldn't even fit a car whip in between these two as they come up to the triple-double. Here come Mayfield now. Mayfield can taste that lead as he is all over to Kyosho, Jared Tebow.
And it looks like they're taking a note out of Cody King's line for that 5 jump there. Also, both of those guys jump into that mound.
Quite a break there to Cody King. As he continues to see King here cheering on Mayfield. Oh, Mayfield to the inside. A beautiful move there. Barely any contact. But Jared Smart gives it up, doesn't contest it. He knows he's got just like 50 minutes or so left here in this final. It's not going to be won or lost in that corner.
I don't even think that was a mistake. That was just a line, and somehow Mayfield found some traction up next to that tire.
That was a beautiful, beautiful pass. So Ryan Mayfield now into the lead. He comes up to that big triple-double here. A great, great fight very early in this 60-minute World Championship fight.
Stepping up, stepping off right now. Mayfield through the right-handed carousel. Across time and is scoring. Up the straightaway. Through Ungentle Bend into the short chute.
You see it just sideways as he catches a run. Sends them all the way up to the top of the fence there as these guys are pushing it to the maximum. I don't think there's any 85% like we talked about. Mayfield right now, Tebow are actually just punching at 100%.
They've got it cranked to 11.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As Mayfield here looking good. One of the 3 guys that were really poised to be the favorites going in here. And it is Mayfield right now leading the way. A bit of a bump up there. So he comes up again, setting up sideways there to the triple doubles. Sticks to landing. Another great Jared right behind him. Step up and step off. Another lap in the books here at the World Championship. Mayfield and Tebow lead the field.
It's super impressive to see the difference in speed around the track from maybe the fastest straightaway in all of A-scale off-road racing to some of the slowest sections I've seen where the cars are almost coming to a stop.
Charlie, look at the distance. You just saw Cody King coming into the frame there, and it's got to be about maybe a 6 or 7 second lead for these 2 guys right now as Ryan Mayfield and Jared Tebow, Associated and Kyosho, running 1-2.
Doing single-double that time. So I think that's what Mayfield's working on through that section is finding a safer way through that triple jump. They had been doing it as a double-single through most of practice and qualifying, but the base of that single got all beaten up. They fixed some of it through the overnight sessions, but it's coming apart again. I think the patch is kind of ripped out of what they filled.
So you wonder if Ryan's just thinking, hey, that last 10 minutes of the race, the preferred line is going to be tore up. Let me set up for something different that I might have to run later in the race. You don't know. There's a great, great picture of the focus. Cody King on the left, then Jared Mayfield and Jeremy Courts just in their zone here. They know they got business to take care of because they all want to be world champion.
Mayfield over the Twin Peaks now. And you see him doing single-double. That's going to be his new line, I think. You see Tebow behind him still going double-single, but to the left side of your screen where it's a little safer, the preferred line is to the right side up against the fence, but these guys are starting to work their way across that face to find some smooth ground.
So Mayfield looking good out there as he comes to complete another lap. Motoring down the start-finish line, driving that Team Associate RC8 Reedy powered. Looking good out there, J Concepts, tires and body. And behind him is the Kyosho Orion powered Jared Tebow. So a great, great fight up front. You saw Cody King come into the frame There he is at the top of your frame right there. So
Can't say he's getting any closer.
No. These guys are keeping a pace to keep third spot and the rest of the field well behind. So single, double, Jared the same way. So Jared following suit this time.
I think he's seeing what's going on in front of him. I mean, these guys have peripheral vision like a animal that has excellent peripheral vision.
That's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. We got a great fight here. The step up and step off. Jared closes in a bit this lap. They come across the start-finish line again. Just maybe about 2-3 tenths of a second. Front wheels coming up off the track that time. And we've talked about it numerous times, Charlie. There's ruts that are forming, and no doubt in this hour-long main, new things are going to happen with the racetrack.
And I don't know if it's me or what, but Jared looks like he is on it, ripping on that trigger right now, trying to make up some ground on Mr. Mayfield and maybe force a mistake. I don't think they're too worried about passing each other on a track like this. They just need to make the other guy make a bobble, and instead, Tebow with a little bobble there.
Exactly. Catches that right front tire on the tire and drops him back maybe about 10 car length as Mayfield sends it in. No problem, nice and easy.
Going back to his safe line, not jumping to the mound, jumping down into the flats again.
Across the start-finish line, another lap in the books. It is Ryan Mayfield from Arizona, United States, leading the way. Jared Tebow, also from the United States, as his down and away. JP Joe Pillars, good fuel stop there. And now this is a big lead here for Mayfield. Obviously, Mayfield's going to have to come in for fuel. We expect him. Most of the guys, Charlie, are going 7.5 to 8 minutes on fuel stop. So Mayfield should be coming in pretty soon here as we just watched Jared come in. I think Jared a little bit shorter in his fuel stops than the rest of the guys.
I think some of the guys space it for when pit lane is going to be crowded. Once they get a feel for what everybody's doing, they'll come in when no one else is in if they have their choice. It's never fun fighting for position in pit lane.
Especially this pit lane is very, very slippery. And we've seen lots of guys hit the brakes, slide sideways.
Yep.
And we talk about the long arm of the law. Brent Helke having to save Mayfield from a miscue coming in as Mayfield came in way too hot. But yes, Charlie, that is a big thing. And that's where the pitmen really play a big part. You know, they know when their guys got to come in. They obviously want to stretch it. Oh, man, a save there by Mayfield. He checked it in. They want to stretch it as long as they can. But if pit lane's full of 8-10 cars, it's not the time you want to be in the pit lane.
Yeah, definitely. And they need to leave some room for that. Because if something does happen in pit lane and they can't get in, they don't want to be out on a half a lap worth of fuel or anything like that. So I think you're not going to see anybody stretching anything in pit stops here. They've all sized each other up through the